respect. Everyone wants it, but honestly, very few actually know how to earn it. I mean, we've all seen this play out, haven't we? You can be the kindest person in the whole office, incredibly talented, working way longer hours than anyone else on your team, and people might still just talk right over you in meetings, or completely overlook you for that promotion. It's incredibly frustrating.
Why? Well, why does this happen despite doing everything totally by the book? The answer is actually pretty counterintuitive. Because, you see, respect isn't given for the fancy titles you hold, the money in your bank account, or even the sheer talent you possess.
Respect isn't given for what you have. It's given for what you tolerate and how you carry yourself. This right here, this is the absolute foundation of unspoken authority. Once you really understand that respect is an internal boundary, rather than some external reward you win just by being nice, I promise you, everything changes.
Just look around your own life. You probably know someone who isn't necessarily the smartest person in the room, definitely not the richest, and maybe not even the nicest in that traditional people-pleasing kind of way. And yet, when they walk through the door, the whole room just shifts. People listen, people notice. So, what do they have that others don't? Let's break it down into 6 core pillars.
Point 1. Stop seeking approval. Look, it's human nature to want to be liked, right? We're social creatures. But ironically, the absolute fastest way to lose respect is to constantly seek that approval. When you always need validation, bending over backwards to please everyone, terrified to just say no, you're accidentally signaling something really dangerous. You're basically teaching people that your personal value depends entirely on their opinion of you.
And here's the really fascinating psychological twist. The moment you stop needing approval is the moment people start respecting you. When your actions are driven by your own internal compass instead of the applause of a crowd, you project this undeniable self-assurance.
It's honestly like a magnet.
Which brings us to point 2, set boundaries. Respect is pretty much built out of the boundaries you maintain. Think about it. If you consistently let people interrupt you mid-sentence, disrespect your schedule, or just treat your time as an option rather than a priority, they're going to keep doing it. And it's not always because they're being malicious. It's simply because you allowed it.
So how do we fix this? Well, you start small. Say no without over-explaining. You don't need to write a 5-paragraph email justifying yourself. Next, protect your time fiercely and walk away from disrespect. You don't need to be aggressive or rude here. You just need to be firm. Just politely say, hey, I have to jump to another task now, and leave it at that. It all boils down to this. People only respect the limits you set. It's kind of like property lines, right? If the fence is broken, people will naturally just walk right through the yard. Let's move to point 3. Speak less, mean more. In a world totally obsessed with broadcasting every single thought online, silence is literally a superpower. Not everything requires your immediate reaction, and definitely not every argument deserves your voice.
Have you ever noticed how people who talk too much often lose respect? Their words just become kind of cheap. But people who speak with intention, they naturally command attention. It's actually a classic negotiation tactic, right? The person who speaks less holds the power. When you're quiet, people actually lean in to hear what you finally have to say. So pause before you speak. Make your words count.
Moving on to point 4, work in silence. Real respect isn't built through bold declarations. It's built through undeniable results. Anyone can post online that they're grinding, right? But very few are actually in the trenches doing the quiet, unglamorous work when the cameras are turned off.
So instead of announcing your plans, build quietly, improve daily, stay consistent, and let your results speak for you. If you just put your head down and do the work, eventually the sheer weight of your results will do all the talking. You won't even have to introduce yourself.
Because at the end of the day, nothing earns respect faster than visible progress. Point 5. Don't tolerate disrespect. This is arguably where most people fail the absolute hardest. How often have you seen someone nervously laugh off a passive-aggressive comment? They just swallow their pride and tolerate it to keep the peace. But that peace, it's only kept on the surface.
Here's the harsh truth of social dynamics. Every time you tolerate disrespect, you teach people how to treat you. You are literally writing the manual on what you will accept going forward. But you don't need to pick a dramatic fight. No, there are way more powerful responses. Silence, withdrawal, absence. These nonverbal cues communicate your high standards far better than shouting ever could. It just shows you value yourself way too much to get dragged into the mud. Finally, point 6. Be comfortable alone. Society kind of stigmatizes being alone, but people inherently respect those who don't desperately need constant company. Chasing people just broadcasts a deep insecurity.
When you're comfortable alone, you become powerful. You choose people. You aren't clinging to them because you're scared of being lonely. You stop depending on them for your identity. And man, that shift in energy changes absolutely everything. So what are the true foundations of all this? Well, real respect isn't about being universally liked or pleasing the crowd. It's really about your standards, your boundaries, and your discipline. It's how you carry yourself when literally no one is watching.
Stop chasing respect like it's a prize to be won. Start doing the internal work to become someone who just naturally commands it. Because ultimately, people don't respect you for the clever things you say, they respect you for what you accept. So, as you move through your day tomorrow, ask yourself, what behavior are you currently accepting that is quietly undermining your own authority?